13-3, 12-4. Those are my records through the first 2 weeks of the season in this video. And today, I'm going to give you predictions for all 16 games. Money lines, sides, totals, and we're going to sprinkle in a little player prop talk because we're degenerates. Stop playing, you know you are. You're in good company, don't worry. And if you didn't know, I simulate every game 10,000 times. The picks I make in this video are going to be from that model, and that matters. I'll show you soon why. Anyway, no time to waste, let's get paid. Today, you're going to see me use the Novig Sportsbook on the left. You also see me use my website, mysparryedge.com on the right. And hey, I'm down here. Unfortunately, you're going to see a fair amount of my bald head. Or maybe you like that. Sorry, I got to stop doing this stuff on screen. Before we get to the actual picks for this Thursday night football game, which, by the way, if you're patient enough, and you watch long enough, I'm going to give you a parlay for Thursday Night Football. I love you. No, seriously, I love you. This past week on YouTube was an absolute dream. Thank you so much. I've never had so much growth and support on my YouTube before. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for the subs and some very genuine comments. All right, enough mushy stuff. Some things you need to know betting. 52% of the Thursday Night Football games hit the under last year. The year prior, 60%. It seems like Vegas is trying to even this out, and that would make sense. And this week's total is interesting, 49.5. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later and maybe a potential bet we can make based on scoring, but not the total. Hang tight. In week one, unders dominated. Overs bounced back in a big way, including on Sunday, we saw 10 of the 13 games hit the over. Heading into Sunday Night Football, I should say, until we saw an absolute stinker of an under. One of the two games on Monday Night Football hit the over. Still, 11 of the 16, a lot of points. Now, it doesn't take a wizard to tell you the Miami Dolphins are not in the same weight class as the Buffalo Bills. Of course, I'm taking the money line. Matter of fact, my betting model slams it as the #1 play of the week. Shocker! It did that with the Ravens last week. It should be. Highest implied probability. How did I get that number? Well, I simulate the games 10,000 times each. In the video here, I share the results and I talk about them a little bit. And this should matter to you. Last week, out of the top 13 money line picks, they went 12-1. The only team to lose were the Vikings. That's crazy. The other three losses were the lowest on the confidence ranking. Picks 14, 15, 16. I think that's highly indicative of the fact that the model is very sharp and it's in year 6 and it's doing things it should, putting the best probability after 10,000 sims at the top. Matter of fact, take a look at the spreads. The top 7 spread picks last week went 7-0. And I cashed out this banger on FanDuel simply using the top 5 spread picks with a $5 no sweat I had on FanDuel. You better believe I'm running it back this week. But I digress. Bills at -11.5 is a very high spread. The model says take it. Model also says take the over. We have some problems here, though. I don't know if I can trust the Dolphins to hit the over here. Do I think the Bills offense can? Yup. Maybe look at their team total at 30.5. 11.5 points is a lot to cover. It's essentially 2 touchdowns. And there's 2 conflicting data points for this one. I guess 3 if we include the model. Model loves it. Best spread of the week. However, 5 of the last 7 games, the Bills have not covered when they've been double-digit spreads. But then, I've covered this the last 2 weeks. Teams that win cover the spread in over 80% of the games. Is that not the most wild stat you've ever heard? And I think it makes sense for us to look at some of these spread picks this week for these super juicy games. And for that reason, I'm just going to lean on the model. Now, I told you I'd give you a parlay, and this is official for you right there on my left. That'll be your right. Whatever. There it is. Let's talk about James Cook real quick, and then let's move on to the other 15 games. I promise you, I'm going to be faster for those. This first one, it's always fun, though. Thursday Night Football. One more time, I'm going to leave it right there while I talk. James Cook scored a touchdown in 13 of 16 wins that the Bills have had for the last 2 seasons. If we think the Bills will win, which I do, which you do, I hope. Actually, I don't care. You could have your opinions. Mine are right. I'm just kidding, but I digress. Give me the Bills to win. Give me James to cook, and I use the DK profit boost plus 115. Can't be any more simple than that. Kick back, enjoy watching my Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football at home, under the lights, 3 days rest, Miami traveling into Buffalo. Good freaking luck to them. I think the Bills win by a landslide. I don't care about any data points. Gut feels, tummy tingles. Give me the Bills. Give me the points. Give me the over. Least conviction on the over, though. I'll tell you the truth. Just don't trust Miami. Moving on. Next game, we got the Packers and the Brownies. Packers laying 7.5 points on the road. I'm going to type in the team. And bang, there you go. Check this out. Packers dominating the top 5 of the betting model. This game was simulated 10,000 times. The model said, slam the money line, take the over 41.5. It's moved here on Novig and the Packers to cover. And to be honest, I don't know if I can disagree or argue with any of these things. And I've actually got another parlay for you because I love you and because you're still here watching this video. And there's no time to waste, so I'm going to throw it up on screen right now. Nice and simple. Give me Josh Jacobs to score for the millionth time in a row. Not joking. 12 games in a row this man is about to score on the road against the Browns defense, which held their own for a quarter and then absolutely crumbled into a million pieces. I can't see much changing here. If they can't move the ball and they're giving the other team the ball over and over and over again, and the Packers defense is potentially the cream of the crop, well, it's a battle of attrition at that point. Packers run away with this one. Josh Jacobs getting several more possessions, gets an opportunity to slam one in. Minus 124 ain't bad way to watch this one. By the way over there in the far left, mysparryedge.com, I'm showing you scored a touchdown in week 1 against Detroit, scored against Washington on a short week, scored a touchdown in the playoffs. That's 3 games in a row. Now we're going back to last season, and my man scored in the final 8 games of the year. That is 11 games straight that Josh Jacobs has scored a touchdown. He's the alpha and the omega in this offense, and I expect nothing different this week on the road against Cleveland. All right, we get the Colts playing some good football. Danny Dimes looking interesting this season out there for Indy. Jonathan Taylor's an absolute beast, definitely helps the cause, and a good defense behind them both. Traveling on the road against the Titans, an inferior team. But is this the game the carriage turns back into a pumpkin? I hope we got that reference right. Sorry, kids. Ugh. Colts, 3 and a hook on the road? I don't know. Minus 3.5 is an interesting line to me. This one kind of feels like a trap, and I don't really have anything to point to it other than the fact that it's Daniel Jones under center still. And yes, he's playing amazing football, but it's Danny Dimes. Now, maybe you're a believer, but I'm in the very much camp of prove it. You got to prove it for an extended period of time. So they're laying 3.5 points on the road. The total of 43.5 is very interesting. Personally, I like the under. I think we could see some sloppy offense here in this one. I do not like the odds of minus 193, of course. That's parlay piece only. Now, what's the model say? The model says stop worrying about it. Indy, cover, over. All top 5 picks. Now, I'm going to tell you 2 things about the model. First off, here are the results right here. They've been absolutely incredible. The player prop projections, when we're looking at 82 plus bet grade, cleaning house. That's this number down here. So much profit. It's insane. Winning almost 2/3 of the bets. The money lines, sides, and totals, profit, profit, profit. The models are cleaning house. I'm not kidding. But it's actually been so good through the first 2 weeks. And here's point number 2. I want people to be a little careful this week. I know you tuned in. You're like, give me all them locks, donuts. Line them up in a row. Let's parlay them all. Yeah, I get it. It's fun. This is hopefully an entertaining show. It's insightful and full of information, some decent picks. It's definitely handsome. But I'm worried. It's been so good that I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. Nothing stays perfect forever. Nothing wins every single week. So please, bet responsibly, just like Marshawn Lynch once told us. You got to protect y'all mentals and count your chickens. Basically, take care of your money and your mind. I'm going to have a bad week here sooner or later. Somehow, the last 6 videos I've made, everything has been hitting, and it's been awesome, and it's helped my YouTube explode. But with those new eyes becomes new responsibility. Please be mindful of your money. All right, that was unfun. I understand. Texans and Jags. Let's take a look. Full screen here on Novig Sportsbook. Jags minus 116 at home. Texans on the road getting plus 109 odds. Very interesting to me. I actually thought they'd be favored in this one, but that speaks volumes about the Jags, who lost a really tough game against the Bengals last week with a goal line stand failing. So close to a win for the Jags. I don't care, though. I had the Bengals. And in this one, I'm taking the Jags. I'm taking the points, and I'm taking the under. I think this might be a low-scoring game. Texans look like they showed some serious signs of life to open up that game against Tampa, and then they just fell flat on their face. That offensive line is a stinker. The running game is struggling. I'm sorry, Nick Chubb. You had a great touchdown run. It was awesome to see you turn back the clock pre-injury on that carry. But, man, that offense just really is not clicking. Some big strikes will be had. Nico Collins and those guys will do that for you. But I think the Jags are all around the better team. And I'm taking the Jags, the points, and the under. And for the sake of this video, just so we're abundantly clear, I talk about a lot, player props, sides, totals, money lines. What I do for the tracking is I just run the money line picks. And in this one, give me Tampa. Listen, if Justin Fields and that offense is just done scoring points, And yes, he had a concussion. Yes, we also cashed over 44 and a half rushing yards. Talked about that in like 3 different videos last week. Cashed out his plus 220 rushing touchdown in week 1 as well. This week, I don't know if he's active. And if we get Tyrod Taylor on the road in Tampa, after Tampa just had that big win, Tampa is now 2-0. Tampa's won 2 close games. I think this one is a cupcake for them. Jets defense looks bad. 30-plus points given up 2 straight games. And if the offense is now going to score 10 points with Tyrod Taylor this week or Justin Fields against a decent defense in Tampa, I think this one could be over in a hurry. Give me Tampa. And of course, we know 80% of the teams that win, they cover. So give me the -6.5. It's a Bucky Irving kind of day. I think he goes absolutely nuclear. Anytime touchdown probably in play for him. Next up, we got the Raiders and the Commanders. Commanders at home. Are we healthy with Jaden Daniels? What are we getting out of Geno Smith? He looked horrific on Monday Night Football, but I think the Chargers honestly are going to make a lot of people look bad. That defense is very good. Now, 59% of the games by the Commanders over the last 2 seasons have hit the over, one of the highest rates in the NFL. I don't know if this is going to be one of them. As long as Jaden Daniels suits up, I'm taking the Commanders to win this one. I think they cover the field goal and the hook. I'm not sure the Raiders have enough punch or a good enough defense to make anything different happen than what I just explained. Some of these games deserve a lot of attention. Games like this one, we can move on. Bengals and Vikings. This should be gross, honestly. J.J. McCarthy and this offense look horrific. They've had 1 good quarter of football this season, the 4th quarter against the Bears in prime time on week 1. Since then, and really the other 7 quarters have been an absolute clown show out there for Vikings fans. Unfortunate for Justin Jefferson. Bengals coach Zach Brown pretty much confirmed it. They potentially without Joe Burrow for quite a long time with a turf toe injury, potentially having surgery. Jake Browning's going to take over as the quarterback. It's not his first rodeo with the Bengals. He's actually been a starter before back in 2023. Put up some decent numbers, and he kept Ja'Marr Chase going that season. Ja'Marr still finished with 1,200 yards. He had 7 or 8 touchdowns that year. Hey, we cashed out last week on Ja'Marr Chase, over 83.5 receiving yards. That ladder was definitely in play. Then Burrow went down, and I started to panic. I didn't need to. Ja'Marr Chase ended up getting all the targets, receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Do we see the same thing happen again on the road this week? I'm not sure, but I will say this. There's like 5 plays I love already for this week, and this one's on the borderline, and I'm going to tell you more about it on Friday. Friday is when I do the best bets of the week, and it's 16 games, 1 player prop for every single game. Very much like this video, you'll get a little bit more analysis because I can't help myself. I love doing this. This is so fun for me. Just do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn those notifications on because that Friday video you do not want to miss. And by the way, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, I'm live right here on YouTube at 9 a.m. Those videos, those live shows, I should say, are so much fun. I hope to see you Thursday morning. This one, I have no conviction. The model likes the Bengals to cover. It also has the Vikings winning here at home in the Dome and the under 42.5, which now moved to 41.5. 60% of the games the Vikings have played in have hit the under over the last 2 seasons. I don't know what we're getting out of Jake Browning, so I do agree with that. The model says -149, take the Vikes. Good luck. 2 more 1 o'clock games here. Steelers, Patriots, Rams, Eagles. One of them we can breeze by. The other deserves our attention. I fell for it last week. Steelers were in a classic letdown spot. That's my bad. I do think Aaron Rodgers rights the ship here, and I'm not sure the Patriots are ready to be contenders at all in the AFC East. The Patriots, one of the lowest cover teams in the NFL. I don't know how else to say that. Against the spread, they've lost 62% of their games over the last 2 seasons. Drake May, that team, they just put up so many stinkers. So does Aaron Rodgers, for what that's worth. This is a volatile spot. This is one of those where I'm going to pick a team here and I'm going to run away. Give me the Steelers to win this one. I don't like it, but I got to pick something. 1 pick for every game. I do have a player prop for this one, though. I'll talk about that on Friday's Best Bets video. It's all player props, baby. Now, this should be a fun one. We got the Rams on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles, who look unstoppable. Going into Arrowhead, called that one on last Wednesday's video. We took the Eagles. We took the points, and they covered. They won 27-18, made the Chiefs go 0-2 to start the season. I love it. As a Bills fan, I love it. I'm sure a lot of NFL fan bases are happy to see the Chiefs being 0-2. Nobody likes these teams who just become a dominant powerhouse for 10, 15 years. I'm looking at you, Tom Brady and the Patriots, and now I'm looking at you, Mahomes and the Chiefs. Enough of it. Anyways, I digress. I'm always digressing. You know this. Just let me do it. I actually think we're going to have a barn burner here, and I have a nasty parlay built for it. Let me show you. It starts with the Eagles winning at home, but then I'm taking the Rams to cover plus 3.5 on the road in Philly, and then I'm slamming in the under 44.5. I think we get a close game, very similar to what we saw with KC and Philly this past week. I don't think the Rams have played their best football yet, and they're 2-0. I mean, this is the 2022 Super Bowl champs, Rams, right? Well, no, but I think the roster's better now. And their main pieces of this team are just so good. I like so much here. I can't wait to talk player props in Friday's video. I'm not kidding. I think there's some massive upside to bet on this game. And it starts here with this fun parlay. It's actually a plus 1,100. What a fun way to sweat out the game. All sorts of touchdown opportunities here, guys left and right. Only 2 of them that I actually like this week, though. There's a receiver in this game that I've been slamming overs for. Talked about him this past week. And I'll show you here on my side. Opto EV Picks was all over Puka Nakua's receiving yards in week 2 as he went 7-0 for the VIP Discord. That link, again, tails.bet/DFS and Donuts Picks. That link's right there, my friends. You get access to my picks, my parlays, my betting notes, all my cheat sheets, and of course, my betting models. And a lot of people sign up thinking that's what the product is. And then they find out, oh my gosh, I get access to Opto, 14-2 this year, cashed a plus 1,300 last week. Oh my gosh, I get access to Fire and his channel. He's 48-16 in his last 64, 7-1 this past week in NFL. I'm telling you right now, that link, it's always down there. It's the first link in the description and in the comment section after every single video. If you ever feel like you need a little help, join my team and let's see what we can do for you. My bad. There was one more 1 o'clock game. Falcons on the road against the Panthers. This one could be gross. These two teams have some of the lowest cover ratings in the NFL. Against the spread, they stink. Falcons 12-23 with a push. Panthers 13-21. I do think the Falcons take this one. I give them the money line at minus 234. Again, that one's just going to be a parlay piece. I don't really want to touch anything else. I'm concerned the Panthers are already horrific again. Bijan's going to score this week after getting vultured at the goal line by Tyler Algier. Next up, Broncos-Chargers. This, honestly, could be the game of the week. Quietly, the game of the week. Now, a lot of people thought it was going to be the Broncos this season challenging the AFC West. And then here come the Chargers, the team that made the playoffs last year, looking like potentially the 3rd best team in the AFC behind the Ravens and the Bills. Have already beat the Chiefs on Friday Night Football in Brazil in week 1. And then in week 2, they made the Raiders look pathetic. This defense is no joke. And this is their home game, their first one. They were in Brazil, then they were in Las Vegas against the Raiders, and now they get to be home in front of the home crowd, 2-0. The city, the fan base, everyone's jacked up. The offense is clicking. Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton, nice, interesting 1-2 combo. It's working. Keenan Allen, dial back the clock. Looks like 2023, and Keenan back there with Herbert. And the Lad McConkey coming off one of his worst games in the last 12 or 13 he's had. Guy only caught 5 catches. Well, he only had 5 targets. I think he pops off in this one. Not. I'm going to tell you why on Friday. We got to be careful, though. Although a lot of that has to do with Patrick Surtain. If he's active, good luck. If he's not, I think Lad to the moon, baby. But again, we'll talk about that. And by the way, Keenan Allen, over plus 200 odds, has scored a touchdown for us 2 straight weeks. Stop sleeping on me and stop sleeping on Keenan Allen touchdown props. What am I doing with the game? Well, it comes down to this. Chargers defense and Justin Herbert. That's it. That's all I need to know. Herbert is reminding people this season that he was once looked at as being a potential top 5 franchise quarterback going forward in the future. And then what happened out there? Well, their weapons fell apart. They got old and the offense crumbled. But Herbert has looked like an absolute monster through 2 weeks. You know what he never does too? Throw interceptions. Just 3 games in the last 2 seasons has he actually thrown an interception. The under half an interception prop for him, for Josh Allen. By the way, I forgot to mention that. If you're still watching this video, first off, thank you. You're goated. You just got 2 extra picks. I love Herbert. No interception. I love Josh Allen. He's thrown 1 pick on 7 primetime games over the last 2 seasons. And he's faced much better defenses than the Dolphins. But I love Herbert. No interception this game. I'm taking the Chargers to cover minus 2.5 at home. Of course, that means I think they'll win. The betting model says the -2.5 is the 6th best spread bet of the week. And yes, that matters, as we just saw my spreads go 11-5 in week 2. Made a lot of profit. And again, the top 7 spread picks all cashed in the model. Maybe we run it back this week. Chargers do end up in the top 7. All right, Saints heading in Seattle. Saints coming off another fat L. And the Seahawks, well, bounce back spot in week 2. Big win for them. They get to host the Saints. Saints are pathetic. I'm sorry. They just are. The team's bad. Everyone knew it. Their win total prediction markets were very low. Started the season at 4.5. Now, they played the Niners tough. Did score 21, but I think they're in trouble here heading into Seattle in the 12th man. I think this one's ugly. I think it's Seattle all day, all the way. Don't know what I'm betting props-wise. I'll get to that on Friday. This is one of those where I think that the props pick on Friday will very much be this is the best of the rest. Seattle's juiced as can be. They belong in a parlay at best. I do like the -7.5. If it ends up moving at any point to 6.5 throughout the week, I love that even more. Next up, we got Cowboys at the Bears. What a game it was last week for Dak Prescott. This offense, what a terrible game for the defense. Ben Johnson's Chicago Bears looked anemic and pathetic. They've essentially played one good quarter of football, the first quarter in week 1. Maybe you could call it a good half. By halftime against the Vikings, they were up by 2 scores, and then they just fell apart. Absolutely fell apart in the second half. And then last week against the Lions on the road after a beatdown in week 1 against the Packers, who I think are beat down everybody, including this week's matchup. The Bears are fake. Now, I'm not saying the Cowboys are much better, but they're better than Chicago is. I can't believe we're getting +1.5 for the Cowboys here. I get it. They're on the road. I get it. Massive shootout against the Giants, week 1 loss against the Eagles. I still think they're a better team. Give me the Cowboys to win. CeeDee Lamb's going to pop off once again. TD Lamb, baby. Love this guy. Love betting on him, too. Cardinals, Niners. We got a close spread, a tricky total. I don't like those mid-40s. Give me the low 40s or upper 40s. Those are tough. I think the totals market is honestly my least favorite to bet on, too. And it's the least accurate in the betting model for what that's worth. I think there's an interesting parlay to make here. I'm not sure the Niners can run away with any game right now without Brock Purdy. And the Cardinals, very similarly, I think are going to play a lot of close games. I think the Niners, the under, and teasing the Cardinals spread could be a really interesting parlay. If this were a primetime game, that might have ended up as my official primetime parlay of the week. But for this video, I got to pick a team here. Give me the Niners, simply because they're at home. I think this is an evenly matched game, 2 evenly matched teams, and we cashed this one out on the Opto EV Picks channel. Christian McCaffrey receiving yards. I told everybody on my Sunday morning live show to run the ladder for his receiving yards. Well, he cashed it over 50. I think he does it again. I'll likely be running out the receiving yards ladder for Christian McCaffrey. Leads the NFL in red zone opportunities this year, too. All right, look at this 2-piece we get. Chiefs and Giants. Who knows? That could actually be an interesting game. Shockingly, did not think we would be able to say that heading into week 3, but here we are. And then the cream of the crop. This one is going to be fun. Let's go. Absolutely love it. I can't wait to talk about it. And I hope I see you Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern for the Monday Night Football live show. We do all sorts of degenerate things on that hour. It's a 1-hour show. I analyze the game a little bit. I catch you up on the weekend happenings. We make so many picks and parlays on that video, on that show. And 450 people were actively viewing that at a peak moment of that video. It's pretty crazy. I've been so thrilled with what I've seen here on YouTube. Had 918 Sunday mornings live show at 9 a.m. 918 people were my peak viewers count on YouTube. I'll try to grab a photo and pop it up on here on screen during the editing phase. I think it was 918, 913. It was up there, though. And that leads me to say this one last time. And I know it's kind of goofy or mushy, whatever you want to call it. I'm just so thankful. I don't know how to express it other than continuously saying it. Thank you so much. I'm not even kidding. It's been a life changer. I've been doing this for 8.5, almost 9 years. Started podcasting out of a car because it was a great sound booth. I've written thousands of articles across the internet. And I finally have made my way back here on my second YouTube channel. My other one died at 6,000 subs. This one's growing exponentially right now because of you. I am nothing without you, and I will never lose sight of that. So thank you so much for supporting me, for liking the video, for subscribing to the channel, and all those genuine comments that I continue to get. Screenshot, show my wife. It's been wild. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, now let's get to these primetime games. Talked about this with the Ravens in week 2. Talked about this with the Lions in week 2, and I'm going to say it now for the Chiefs in week 3. Statement game. We're not gone. We're not dead in the water. We're going to be okay. That's what you're going to have the takeaway after this one. I think this one's a runaway. I think the Chiefs pop off. And yes, I understand. No Xavier Worthy, no Rashee Rice, a running game that looks suspect, an offensive line that's troublesome. Travis Kelce making mistakes out there as the vet. Marquise Brown is your Hollywood Brown is your number 1. I mean, I get it. Things are not looking pretty out there. Patrick Mahomes, my best call of week 2. I said, take him for an anytime touchdown. He's going to dive to the right pylon and score late in the game after he tucked it and ran it in the red zone because no one could get open. What the heck happened? An 18-yard touchdown run. Dove to the right pylon because no one got open. The best call of my life. I had so many YouTube comments after the game. Great Mahomes call. I cashed a plus 500. Thank you. It was pretty cool. And you know what? I'm going to talk about this on the Sunday morning live show at 9 a.m. Turn your cell phone alarm on. I'm not kidding. Get your cell phone. Turn your alarm on. 9 a.m. Eastern, Sunday morning. I'm here for 2 hours. A 2-hour Sunday morning live show. All betting picks, all parlays. We do pick 'em. We talk about everything on that show. You got to be here. And I'll probably be talking about my favorite touchdown picks in that one. And yes, Mahomes is likely on that short list once again. But I think the Chiefs run away with this one, and they remind people, hey, we're pretty good. Don't sleep on us here in the AFC. And they get their first win of the season. Give me the dang Chiefs. I'm thinking they cover by a landslide. It's going to be uncomfortable. They looked horrific in the over, like a 34-17 type game. I think they just go out there and score points. Now, when you step this far over the line here of security and comfort, I'm going to get some lashback in the comments if this doesn't come to fruition. But this is one of those spots where I just got to bet on the second coming of Tom Brady. I hate to say it, Patrick Mahomes getting his team on the right foot, coming together as a unit, and finally getting their first win of the season. And doing it in a very Patrick Mahomes-led way, confidently and comfortably. All right, last one, absolute fireworks. And I'll talk about Monday Night Football on the Monday morning live show at 9 a.m. And of course, you're going to get me this Thursday at 9 a.m. for the Bills game. Be here, right here on YouTube. Be here for me. I'll be here for you. I'm going to line your pockets. This one is a banger. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm just going to lead it off. Ravens win this one under the lights in front of their crowd. Last time on prime time against the Bills, an absolute meltdown. You think they're not going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder in this one? Okay. Yeah. Give me the Ravens. Now, here's where it gets fun. Give me the points to the over. I think this is a high-scoring game between two elite offenses. Sorry. The overreaction was crazy after week 1. Ben Johnson's gone. The Lions suck now. Yeah, they do not. And I told everybody in last week's video, slam everything Lions. Touchdown props, overs, spreads, money line, statement game. Similar to the Chiefs, similar to last week's Ravens. Other than Derrick Henry, everything came to fruition. Speaking of him, we're going to talk about some plays I got for Monday Night Football on that Monday morning live show. This is going to be the parlay of the year. It's the Ravens to win, the over, and then I'm teasing the 4.5 up to 7.5. I think that would be a really, really fun parlay. I think the Lions come to play on Monday Night Football traveling into Baltimore. That's right. I think the Lions can hang. Lamar Jackson continues to throw 2+ passing touchdowns, continues to not throw interceptions, similar to the level of Josh Allen, taking the under for the interceptions for Josh Allen, for Justin Herbert. Yeah, well, 2+ passing touchdowns for Baker Mayfield, for Lamar Jackson. There's a lot of interesting trends that you can bet on almost every single week and end up profitable. Let's call them easy buttons until they're not, and that's betting. And that's okay. I think it's going to be absolute fireworks out there on Monday. Now, it is Wednesday morning. It's very early. How much conviction can I really have for these outcomes? I'm doing my best here. I shared as much as I could from the model while still protecting my VIP product and making sure my members feel valued. I likely provided you with some terrible picks and a few winners, regardless. I hope you had a fun time. I hope it was enjoyable. You know, you listened on your way to work. Like, oh, yeah, Donis is back with another episode of Bets for Breakfast. I'm going to listen to this one while I spill my coffee on my shirt. I've been there. I've definitely done that. And I hope that I'm just a part of your day. Thank you for helping me feel all sorts of goodness in my heart. I'm not joking. It's been a weird, wild week. Thank you so much for the support. I hope that I can support you. Remember, bet responsibly. I've had 6 videos in a row with just a landslide of winners. I'm due for a very bad video sooner or later. And when it happens, it's going to be horrific feeling. And I'm just afraid that if I don't tell people to bet responsibly and understand that the betting pendulum always swings back and forth, I'm not going to be winning at the rate I'm winning at right now forever. The pendulum's going to swing back. And sooner or later, when it's down here and you start to feel it, it's going to be very uncomfortable because it's going to keep going to the other side. I'm going to have a bad video. I might have a bad week. Please bet responsibly. Not enough people say that. We all don't win 24/7. That's just the truth. Love y'all. Appreciate you. And I'll see you on Thursday morning live show. I'll see you Sunday morning. I'll see you Monday morning. And if you're subscribed, you're going to see the 16 game, 16 player prop picks on Friday. You'll see the 16 games and 16 touchdown picks on Saturday. Take away Thursday Night Football, so I guess that's 15. But I digress. I'll see you later.